Hello there everyone, this is Iron Mark 3 and welcome back to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, yeah! Welcome back, comrades, to our glorious republic. I think I went slightly German in the middle of that, but I don't know. But yes, welcome back. Picking off at where we left off last time, I'm going to be getting construction done on a bunch of this stuff. Kinda wanna... Well, yeah, that's the one. Just reduce the numbers of people so that they aren't getting dragged into the statues and things. That's something I didn't do last time, but I have mentioned it in the past, so that's why I didn't think it was that important. But yeah, this time around I've actually got a decent amount of time to record it, so we are going to be going ahead as the city develops. Look at that one had like 40 odd people in it. But yeah, progress shall be achieved, comrades. Glorious progress shall be achieved. Hopefully sometime before next week. But yes, we will have progress. Tell you something though. First off, there is this little thing here which like vehicles are actually using the paths to get to the station. But I'm honestly considering just like taking the train that's running off there, which is this little guy here, who is... Admittedly, this place is not really busy at the moment because I just got rid of a bunch of the housing that was supporting it. But what I'm thinking is I actually want to... I want to send this thing to the depot. Yeah, I'll just tell this train to go to the depot. That way all passengers in this stop are going to be prioritised either A, for the construction buses, since they all draw from there. It'd be nice if I could set multiple places to draw from, or if like people had to go to the construction office to get the work, but it's like the system doesn't support that. Or B, the buses that actually run all the way up the line to the construction industries, the lumber plants and the coal mines and stuff, they all start from that station too. So it's the smaller of the two stations, yet it's actually fronting a lot of the workload. As you do. But yeah, we'll actually get some work done and we'll see how it goes. Look at it, people just running here, there and everywhere. They are so eager to get to work. Oop, I didn't reduce that one. You know, I just noticed they've already built the tennis field, the tennis court. They've literally built that before anything else. How the heck did they do that? Well, I found myself in a little bit of a unique situation here, I'm gonna be honest. So I'm having to do a little bit of buying and stuff like that. I'm being careful just to pause and approach, and the reason is this. Cancel contract that. Okay, buy that one. Right. All the construction ground to a halt. I was a bit confused as to why, so I went to have a look, and it turns out it's because all of my construction pretty much is waiting for asphalt. Are you? Yep, you're waiting for asphalt as well. So, I think what's going on is this. I think because the buses were pulling all the people away for these construction jobs, and people living in the nearby buildings were naturally going to construction jobs as well. They were going there because resources were waiting and stuff, but all the jobs were locked because there was no asphalt. Thing is though, the buses that draw for the labour route from that same station also feed the asphalt plant, so the asphalt plant was having no workers come to it. I even tried getting a path up between this station and this area, but it's actually just too far away from that station to draw labour from it. So that was the thing. But as a result, my construction was all waiting for asphalt, but they couldn't produce any asphalt because the people who would produce the asphalt were all waiting at the buildings for the asphalt. So, catch-22 situation had developed. Still, now that I've unlocked a bunch of buildings, construction should be able to continue. Yep, a whole bunch of trucks are starting to deploy, so yeah, that's unlocked a bunch of stuff. A bit unfortunate, but that seems to be how it's gone. Oh, also, in case I forgot to mention, I did turn down some of the graphics settings as well, just in case my computer was struggling a bit. I've turned down the few things like shadows, like tree texture, you know, little bits and pieces that won't affect things too much, but should still allow for an improvement. And honestly, I'm not seeing that much difference overall, so hopefully this will still be a little bit smoother on the recording. At least that's the hope. Oh, look at the ambulances just racing past. We really do need that other hospital, don't we? Oh my. Huh. Okay, now why are you guys stuck? You're trying to go back to the thing. Chain signal. Okay, then that goes into there. There isn't actually. Oh, there is actually an open route. Okay, so I think it's just the chain signal managed to get broken or something. Okay, fine. Let's remove that signal. Just let the train get moving, because there's nothing in the way, like at all. See, it just quite happily goes off, and it was absolutely fine. So I'm not sure what that was. Then on top of that, this one is also locked. That is weird. I don't know what happened there. But there were some trains waiting just to go to the fuel station, so they were going a different way. I'm not sure what's happened to you. I think the train signalling just broke slightly. Because there was no reason for those trains to be stopped. Unless I really need a signal going up to the train depot. Didn't think I did, but... No, I don't. And it's... once again saying that... Oh, no, it is the train depot. What? Why? That's just strange. Why is the train depot not okay? I think that's got to be a bug. Because I sent the train up there, and apparently it locked this entire section. Speaking of, I need the oil train to actually go and do a run. So off you go, my sweets. Go and get me a little bit of money, a little bit of moolah. Thank you, love you. Have a safe trip. As it disappears into the forest. Okay, so that signal issue was apparently being caused by the MV820 that I'd sent to the depot, because I turned it loose and the signal issue suddenly resolved itself, so let's see if that happens again. Nope, this time it worked. Okay, so apparently sometimes if a train goes to the depot, it doesn't actually release the signal, but this time it did, so I don't know what happened there. I do know it was the MV820 that in the thing that did it though, because when I let it out, the signals started working properly again. So, yeah, that is my scientific analysis. Yeah, who knows? What the hell are you guys doing that way? Well, that is the emergency escape route, I guess, but I don't know. In better news, we are actually getting some workers starting to appear at platform 2. We have actually got a kindergarten and a block of flats up, as well as some sports facilities that have been managed to get themselves readily constructed. Everything else is still under construction and awaiting materials. It's actually they're mostly waiting for workers now, it seems. Yeah, seems to be mostly workers needed for the current stages. Oh, and resource material. Resources are still being delivered too, I think. I'm not too sure, honestly. There's so many projects going on, it's like I'm not sure what vehicles are delivering where, but I know they're trying. Or at least they should be. You should be doing stuff. And you, and you, and you. Why are you guys doing things? Well, it's got 5 things it's working on, but it seems to be ignoring supplying the rest. I guess there's a limit to how many jobs they can actually work on at once. I could tell it to specifically add buildings and things, so... Come on, I want the flats up before you actually do the statues and things, if you'd be so kind. I'm gonna have to watch this thing, aren't I? Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so apparently it was struggling to notice stuff, so I was manually telling it to do the buildings, and then it started doing supplies, which it could have been doing anyway because the trucks were idle. But apparently I've just noticed over here, it actually prioritised getting over here, and it got all this area built up. Like, which was this junction point, the conveyor links, and the roads, before it got anything beyond the roads done up here. So it managed to sneak this section past me without me noticing, and I'm not sure when it did that. On the plus side, this means that all available coal processing is actually routing to the power plants. So there is that, I guess. It's but we haven't got the coal mines actually working properly at the moment, so we're still buying all our coal. It would be cheaper though to actually buy in coal ore and then process it than it would be to be actually, you know, buying in the coal power directly. So I guess we should go with the cheaper option. This facility is actually manned, so we might as well get it operational. Yeah, let's do that. I want you to auto-purchase a little bit of coal aggregate ore. So you do that, just buy a little bit. This will auto-fill these two facilities, so it'll actually keep running constantly. But, actually no, I don't want to do that. I want to arrange for no purchase, thank you. And we'll see how well a single processing facility holds up to a single power plant. You know, some stuff like this you've got to experiment a bit just to make sure. And yeah, look at all the lazy buggers now actually doing their tasks. This is suddenly going a lot more efficiently, and I'm a bit confused as to why it wasn't earlier. Well, that was a bunch of waiting around I could have probably avoided. Oh dear. And yes, a single one of these can actually run ahead of these. If only I can get the coal deliveries working properly. But that relies on more people, which is what we're doing. I did notice though that my birth rate seems to be climbing. If we have a look at this last month. Deaths have actually spiked a little bit recently, 172, but births are still higher. So birth rate is generally on the rise, as is death rate. But I don't think that's related to pollution this time, honestly. So I think my people are behaving themselves. Yeah, look, pollution's actually okay. There's a little bit of pollution actually sleeping in this way with that thing running constantly, so that's actually a little close, but it's not bad. Yeah, still 64.5. That's still pretty good. No alcohol addition and no government loyalty, though. I have to work on that. I have to work on that. And actually, that place has really low people in it. I wonder. It's still in the okay zone, roughly. I might have to move that particular block of flats though, or make it a smaller one just tucked away in that corner. I don't know. I thought that was safe, but apparently it was only safe when it was just the power plant. This thing churns out a lot of pollution when it does its processing. It's pretty much done. Hooray! We got there in the end. Bullying the construction office to do the work was the right call. And in fact, now that people aren't getting distracted by local construction, I've got a decent amount of workers building up. So that means that I'm getting all the supporting industry up here actually working better. Which is excellent. We're actually even getting the sawmill working again. The coal mine has got a couple of people lying around, but there's a bus on the way with another 28 workers to get that kicked into gear, so yay! The issue with personnel we were having has been somewhat resolved, and more space has been opened up in a lot of other buildings around the place too, because we did move people in automatically to these buildings when they were completed, so they are generally in good condition. They are complaining about lack of kindergarten though. There is a kindergarten right here which is fully functional, pretty much, so... I'm gonna... wait, power supply? Oh, power supply! Oh dear. Okay, that's been fixed. Right. Oh my. Okay, right. 5 of you are saying no kindergarten. That's maxed out. There's a lot of places, but it seems like... well, there's another kindergarten right there as well. So there should be kindergarten space. I think that's just like... because it was all under construction. Anyway, let's see what else they're wanting. No kindergarten, I'm ignoring that. A few without jobs, that means they've not found work. No hospital visits, culture or sport. I didn't build much by sports facilities, so I'll accept that one. What about you? You are... no kindergarten. There's one right next to you, you idiots. Just without jobs. So yeah, it's just like people are just getting themselves sorted out. But this area is, in general, very well supplied. There are a few things I need to do though, which is I need to actually get this one stocked with ambulances. So once again, we'll get the Ghostbusters vehicle and just give it a whole load of those. Nice and cheap and easy, but really fast vehicle. The school's operating pretty well. Kindergartens, as we saw, they're trying to balance each other out. I think I'll build some bit more tennis and sports and stuff. The actual university is actually ticking along fairly well at like 20 limit on its professors. Though that said, now that we've got all these houses back in place, it could probably do with getting increased slightly. Just so more professors will actually come into play over there. But yeah, this is all sorted out for the most part. And in case you didn't notice, I've actually planted some trees around the place. They are starting to grow a little bit, just to add a bit more colour to this busy city centre that I've managed to create here. But yeah, I'm actually quite happy with that. Urban renewal has worked. Sadly, our task now is to, well, to actually go ahead and make more money because we are kind of low. I know it's not the most glorious task, but it's something we need to do. Oh, I have thought of actually a better way to measure the metric in terms of pollution as well. So, as we know, I was suspicious of this one here. I'm actually suspicious of this one as well. And that is because if I'm actually looking at average lifespan rather than average age. So this one's got an average lifespan 72, that one is 69. I saw this one as low as 62 a little bit ago, so I think this one is in the pollution zone. And I'm going to have to condemn it just in case. Let's actually do that. Let's relocate people to close by the university. There's a few smart people over there, I don't know why. Get out of there. Go there. Okay. And this building is condemned. Be gone. I'll have to rebuild it somewhere else. I'm actually thinking of like using this area down here, because it's a nice empty space near the hospital and some schooling facilities and stuff, so, you know, more importantly, it's not actually near any of the pollution industries too, so that's a potential area for expansion. Good transport, good facilities. It's worth looking at. But this area, maybe a couple of utilities will get added in there, but honestly, I don't think that there's much else to say. For some reason people are using that though. What if I was to do... actually I want that. That, please. Yeah, that should help a little bit, but mostly people are just like going onto the roads and wandering here, there and everywhere. But yeah, construction project complete. I'll have to decide what else I want to do. And yeah, look, this hospital's actually pretty busy already. The ambulance are already eagerly going to and fro. I guess we just need to let it settle in and figure out something else to do. I mean, there's two plans I've come up with for future development. both of which involve, I think, getting a new construction office up to expand our operational area. Though that also means I want to get that project of getting construction supplies around up as well. But I'm thinking maybe going across here and working on this little village on Brospin. I mean, it's within reach, it's near the oil fields up here, it's near a whole bunch of flat land as far as I can tell. Let's actually have a look. Yeah, tons of flat land, so that actually makes it well placed for getting some farming industry going on. And then that can be used to deliver food and drink to our shops and things. So we'd be able to get like the pubs and all the grocery stores for selling vegetables. Not clothing, which I think also comes from the crops as well, but we could get a bunch of stuff going, ideally. The only issue is we'd have to actually grow Brospin as well, which is kind of why we want a new construction office over there. So it's going to be a new centre for workers, a new town, just getting started up, and all that kind of jazz. And then we'd have to link it back to Lazy, because Lazy is where all the universities and things are, so, you know, for higher education they need a passenger train to come back to this area. And yeah, that's plans. I think, yeah, the future's bright. The future's orange. That's how the saying goes. I'm sorry, that advert has stuck with me for so many years. Okay, yes, I think Brospin is looking like my immediate plans for the future. So here's what I'm kind of thinking. The oil... Excuse me. No, you start talking, you lose your voice. Yes. What I'm thinking here is the oil field here is mostly focused around this area here, as we can see. So it's like... It's actually getting close to Baharad, the next little village over. But we can happily put in a nice chunky oil field around here. Though it does spread slightly up this way, it's not very good quality, so I think we can safely ignore that part. It's just this bit's really good. It shouldn't pollute as far as here, roughly, given what we've seen with our past experiences. I mean, here to about... here, yeah, so maybe like about the size of the catchment area of an oil derrick is about right for pollution not to spread from this oil refinery zone. So, sorry, oil pumping zone, I should say. So yeah, so that should be good. And if I put one there, it shouldn't affect this place at all. And if I put one about here, it shouldn't affect Baharad really either. So that gives me two potential population centres, but Brospin is the one that's nearby. Since the last cut, I have invested some time in actually getting the road a little bit better. So we've still got our original gravel road connection that we added in across the mountaintop, well, the hilltop rather. But I've also upgraded this track up here to a full asphalt road for faster access to a bus or something if we send them down. I'm not sure which way they'll go, honestly, because they're about the same distance, but one has a higher top speed than the other. Of concern, though, is this bridge. This bridge is a mere wooden bridge. And when all is said and done, it's actually going to be terrible for getting across. So, I mean, if I double check the stats again, make sure it is the right one. It is that one, a wooden bridge. Yep. Max speed 35 kilometers per hour, so no, 30, sorry. So we want to get a new bridge in, honestly, for material deliveries and all that stuff for any vehicles trying to cross over, because that is actually a significant slowdown. I guess we can tolerate it short term, but that is definitely a more long term thing. We want to upgrade that bridge. So we're going to have to do that as a project at some point. Right now the industry is going. This area seems to have settled down quite nicely. There are still a few minor issues around the place, like a bit of complaints about kindergarten slots and stuff because I don't know why. Ooh, no food or meat. We might need a little bit of extra shopping around here as well as that extra little bit of sports. Possible culture. We did a really good job, but apparently it wasn't quite enough in terms of amenities. Oh dear. But hey, at least things are going well. And also the processing over here is stalled a bit because we, of course, bought in the extra coal ore. Though we're not mining anything like enough to actually keep it fully supplied. And I think we can actually get another bus on that bit, so that bit is actually needing a bit more work too. Okay. You go to the mining stop first. That's fine and dandy. You are the bus I want to duplicate. Let's get another couple of buses actually on this. So when this is not actually actively building stuff, it's actually really chill in terms of having a lot of workers available at it, which is actually exactly what we wanted to get in the first place. That is exactly the outcome that this entire effort was after in these last couple of episodes, so I'm very glad to see that. Of course, part of it is we took the train off as well, but that's okay. And honestly, workers are stabilising a bit in the refinery, but getting the coal mines operational will be a help too. But I think, actually, it'd be more profitable for us if we actually had the refinery taking up the slack, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think it would. I'll leave those two vehicles in check at the moment. I'll actually get this locomotive back out, which was doing this passenger run. So that can get started back on that. I think we are probably backed up on oil. Yes, we are. So that train also needs to do a run. Get a bit of oil sold. But yeah, I think that leaves our current biggest hurdle is actually getting construction supplies streamlined and worked out, because next step is, as I said, Brospin, and also getting food industry and oil extraction going over there, because there's some good land over there. There's also a question of where we're going to process things, so it's like, how are we going to grow Brospin? Pay for immigrants, or what? I don't know. We don't have the population available to just auto-move people to spread them out, because that would affect Lazee too much, so we might have to be actually getting a new loan to fund the expansion process over that way. But since I consolidated loans like last episode, I think we're good. If we look, yeah, we still owe 1.8 billion, but we can survive quite happily on 2-3 loans. 3 loans we could probably handle without too much discomfort. I just don't want to do it too much. Well, an extra 2 billion would probably do a lot to actually get Brospin kick-started and get things working over there. I just have to make sure to get like construction set up and stuff like that as well, so that Brospin puts its best foot forward, kind of thing, you know. So yeah, that I think that wraps it up. Honestly, that's the future plans. Unless a new construction project in Lazee catches my attention, we're going for Brospin, and we're going to start getting a centralised construction distribution going. So that's the plan going forward. This has been Iron Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the show, and I'll catch you all some other time. Yeah. There goes the train. How many are you taking? Oh, good, 61 workers to go to the oil refinery. That's solid. Lovely stuff. Get that oil processed, people. Yeah, see you all later. Yeah, we really are backed up on oil at the moment. Jeez.